Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction and discussion video for the fourth episode of Season 4 of Babylon 5 called Falling Toward Apotheosis, I think. Don't forget that you can see the full reaction for this episode on my Patreon channel. Check out the link in the description below. Last time we saw the Centauri Emperor and his court mocking G'Kar and humiliating him. Susan and Marcus took a white star to try and find more of the first ones. Delenn asked Lita for help finding out what the Vorlons were up to. Zack had some information that Garibaldi was being transported via a ship, and they found him. He'd been ejected in an escape pod just before the ship exploded. Lita tried to read the Vorlon, but he struck back at her with a telepathic onslaught. Susan and Marcus found a huge Vorlon fleet hiding in hyperspace. In Medbay, Michael said that he didn't remember what had happened to him. Not sure whether that's true or not, though. The Centauri Emperor had G'Kar whipped and was going to have him killed unless he screamed for him. G'Kar initially refused, but until the last second, he gave in for the sake of his people. There was a rally on Babylon 5 where some of the races told everyone about the attack that Delenn was planning and how it would put everyone at risk because no one returns from Zahadum. But then the captain turned up and he managed to turn the popular opinion round. With everyone back together, Lita told them that the Vorlons were attacking and destroying anywhere that had been touched by the shadows, which involved causing mass destruction if necessary. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction, I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1. I'm standing by.
2 more deep-range planetary colonies have been eliminated by Vorlon forces.
2 more colonies.
The ship eclipsing the local star is presumed to be their main weapon, a planet killer.
Ooh.
The local jump gate has been destroyed and hyperspace traffic is creating a hazard at the jump intersection.
Crumbs.
Once again, please remain calm.
It's hard to say all that and then say please remain calm.
Somebody help me, please!
Captain? Everyone looks at him now in a different way because he returned.
They say he came back from the dead. Is it true, did he?
Yeah, we're not completely sure yet.
I don't know what's true around here anymore.
Yeah.
They need to believe, not in me. You can't save them all.
And try.
Fail.
See.
That was a hell of a conversation. That is a big ship. I know that the Vorlon ships are... I don't know if they're all grown or if they're all organic. I mean, surely it's got to be different to grow the small ships that, like Kosh had, for instance, compared to something like that, a planet killer. I mean, the power output and, its purpose. Don't know. Seems weird to me that they could grow something like that. I can imagine organic elements, but it's got to be a technological element to that as well. So the Vorlons are moving about, destroying colonies now. I assume they've been touched by the shadows. What are they doing? That's the security cameras. What they're looking at? Oh, Garibaldi looking at Lorien.
You, keeping an eye on the captain?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Lorien, yeah.
You sure you're okay, Chief?
Hi, why does everybody keep asking me the same question every 5 minutes?
Because you disappeared for 2 weeks with no memory of what happened.
What do you mean I say I still don't remember? I don't remember.
I'm not convinced by that.
I'm not saying that, and nobody's questioning your word.
I am.
Doc wants to take one more look at you. After that, you can come back to work.
Before I left, the captain and I were on pretty good terms. We got to where we could talk to each other.
But you're not now.
But I'm sure he's got his reasons.
Captain's ignoring him. Half expected his eyes to suddenly turn and look at me then, even though it was a photo. Or still.
You sent for me?
What's he done now?
The stars, Majesty. Nothing more.
And you're not looking hard enough.
Ah,
Vorlons are out there, Londo. They've gone mad.
he's healing.
There are over 100 of those ships here.
Hmm.
The Vorlons.
We'll never attack Centauri Prime.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure.
But to destroy a world as big as this, no. They don't have the will.
Might start with the colonies, but they're going to ramp it up.
We'll arrange for a blockade of ships around Centauri Prime. If they see that you're ready to oppose them, they'll just keep on going.
So they're going to put their ships in between the Vorlons and the Shadows. I suspect the Vorlons are significantly more powerful than the Centauri ships.
And I have no intention of sending our ships out there.
Oh, what's the little psychopath doing now?
Majesty, you don't know how relieved I am to hear you say.
Oh, he's probably worse.
Why, I've decided I like you, Malari. You think the same way I do.
No.
I've decided to show you something I've shown only a few people before.
Oh, what's he going to show him?
Sit, Malari, sit.
Oh, it's the heads.
I call them my shadow cabinet. I think you can appreciate the irony.
Yeah, I can.
Earlier this evening, and this one had the most known. Always coughing, most distressing, but we finally cured it.
Oh, well, that's something at least.
We won't be sending any of our ships out to fight the Vorlons, not one.
What are they going to do instead?
If they are destroying whole planets to get at these shadows.
Yes! You understand exactly.
What, you think it's going to elevate him to godhood if he's destroyed? The planet's destroyed?
Centauri Prime into an inauguration pyre. Oof. To commemorate my ascension into godhood.
He does. Whoa.
I cannot just abandon it. That would be cruel, and anyone who followed me would obviously be inferior.
So destroy it. Wow.
Let it burn, Malari. Let it all end in fire.
I don't think he's got the best interests of his people at heart. I don't know what it is. There's this little feeling I've got.
How's it look? Can I go back to work? Well, so far everything seems to be fine.
So far.
There's one more thing I want to check, though.
Oh, now come on, man. I really hate that.
Don't worry, it's not that.
I think he thought it was going to be a retina scan.
Your fighter disappeared while we were surrounded by shadow vessels. You were taken by one of them, and they wanted to program you.
Oh, check for shadow tech.
Scarring back there.
Okay, well there is now after doing what you just did then.
Thanks, Doc.
Well, he obviously remembered that. He was getting a flash of something that happened. He's not telling them about it. So he is lying about not remembering
Any results
things.
yet on my tests?
On his tests. This should be interesting.
The safe haven for refugees on Tizino Prime is no longer responding. There have been some changes to the list of refugee stations. We've lost 3 of them.
So you need to have the safe havens the opposite side of the sector or wherever they are to where they currently are. They're getting destroyed.
I thought I'd lost you.
Where's Lorianne?
I knew Anna might be alive. I said nothing.
You did what you thought was right.
It's no excuse.
No, it's not.
I saw my own death and accepted it. I looked up and saw Anna, what was left of Anna.
Does he mean that literally? So when he was falling, did he see her being killed? Unlikely, the distance involved. I assume she's definitely dead.
Could I love that much and not forgive?
You are the reason he came back.
We're up to our ears in ships.
I was thinking there's a lot of ships.
This is the only place where some of these races can find their own kind. So they're all gonna come here. Especially since somebody decided Sheridan's a second coming.
We have a whole planet underneath it that's never been touched by the shadow, so in theory the Vorlon should leave it alone.
But the planet's not breathable. The atmosphere is not breathable on the planet. So he's talking about sending them down into the complex. But, I mean, it's probably not that big. And plus, it's meant to be a secure location. I don't think they're going to get that many people down there.
Do it.
I wish you knew best pal.
Busy?
Doing what?
Michael, we have a security problem. The new Vorlon ambassador.
True.
We don't know how telepathic the Vorlons are. Now, if I tell you and he can pick up on your thoughts...
He'd know.
That's why I've kept you out of the strategy sessions.
Okay, is it for definite? Does make sense.
I'll just go up to him and ask him to leave. That'll work.
That's exactly what I want you to do.
Hmm.
So let's give him what he expects. Then we can do what we have to do.
Which is?
Do you want me to take a full tactical team?
No. Just a few people you can trust.
That's not enough. He'll wipe the floor with us.
I know.
Oh. Pick your fastest people, the ones you can run.
Is it my imagination, or is Mr. Garibaldi crankier than usual?
He is indeed.
Through a lot lately. He just needs a little time to settle in, that's all.
Yeah, he's been through a lot that no one seems to know anything about.
I don't know if I can do this, but I will try.
Do what?
Shadows were for you. This will be much more difficult.
For you?
What exactly are we talking about?
Yeah.
Millions of people's lives are at stake here. If the ambassador stays, billions more will die.
Billions. It's weird. It looks like horns, and even the red light is just makes him look. Red's bad. The devil's evil. It's just little things like that just make him look bad. And obviously the music as well. It's ominous music. It's very clever. It all comes together quite well. Can't work out what they're going to do though. 6 of them.
Ambassador, this is security. We need to talk to you.
I don't think he wants to talk to you.
Because of your government's recent attacks on the League of Non-Aligned Worlds, we're asking you to leave at once.
It's a fair request.
No.
Oh. So has he got like an energy shield or? Whoa. Ooh. So he's emitting some kind of noise which was enough to break the mask and hurts them physically. I don't know if that was electricity that was firing or just an effect of the noise. Oh, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what that was. So now what? Yeah, was it this telekinesis that was blocking the shots, or does he have like an energy shield, or what? Why were they not getting through to him? It looked like they were being stopped by something.
Incoming message for you, Captain. It's Ambassador Malari.
Londo?
Ooh.
He's probably calling collect.
I need a favor, some information.
What?
It's a rumor that the Vorlons have gone mad.
So he's just getting confirmation.
Could you tell me how far they are from Centauri Prime?
Right.
I'd say 7 days, 8 tops.
Next episode.
I owe you a favor. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
To all of us.
He means that, because good luck to them is going to be helpful for Centauri Prime.
Sheridan and the others are going to move against you.
It is done. They are irrelevant.
But she knows, so can he pick it up from her?
A human. Yes. Imprisons one of us.
Imprisoned.
Intolerable.
The guards.
They will not threaten us again. Show me.
So she's leading him into a trap. Is he so cocky and confident that he doesn't care? He thinks they can't do anything now. They've taken their shot at him and it failed. She's being suspect. She looks guilty.
Your thoughts are troubled.
Hmm.
Open your thoughts to me. Open.
Whoa. Ah, nice effect. High voltage, so there's chucking a load of energy through him. And shooting him. It's going to be too much. Go overload him. Whoa. Oh, its form even looks like one of their ships. With the bits at the ends, the sort of tendrils. Can they shoot it?
Clear the Vorlon ship to leave before it tears the place apart!
Whoa. He's going to Len. Now. So this was all part of the plan. Kosh. Or part of Kosh. Oh, so
Kosh.
Kosh is fighting.
The last of Kosh. And some of him, some of me.
Don't get how that works. So not just Kosh, Lorien as well.
His life force must be replenished.
Oh, his fingers look so weird. What, so he died again and he's bringing him back again?
I give of myself to replenish him.
Well, what does that actually mean? He's giving of himself. He's the oldest being. He's the first one. So he's been around for billions of years? Certainly millions, but I think... Okay, let's stick with millions. So how long does he live for? And if he's given his life force, does that mean anything? Is it actually taken away from his lifespan? What is his lifespan? Well, it seems to have affected him quite considerably as well.
Not used to being summoned on such short notice.
Ooh, he summoned the Emperor.
Coming godhood, which is possibly the single greatest event in the history of the
So he's
Centauri.
playing to him. What's the end goal?
A god is a god, yes, but if no one knows his name, visits his temples, sings his songs...
That's gonna work.
I find these thoughts of yours most disturbing.
And compelling.
However, I was thinking about Jakar.
Ooh.
What if we conducted his trial and execution on his homeworld? The whole world would see your Majesty's wisdom.
I can't think what his plan is.
Then you can accept your imminent godhood, secure that your name
Will live on.
I have occasionally considered a trip to Narn. My advisors counseled against it for security reasons.
Majesty, can you harm a god?
He's learned how to play the Emperor, hasn't he? He said all the right things. I can't imagine what's going through the guards' heads listening to all this, though. Have you heard the Emperor talking about how he's going to destroy the planet pretty much, and everyone's going to die in fire, and he's going to be elevated to a god? I mean, I think I'd be doing something to stop him, but they're just guarding him and making sure he's safe. I mean, I suppose it's dedication for you, but don't know.
I'm told the Vorlons will arrive in 7 days. This is just enough time. 3 days there, 3 days back. 1 day for trial and execution.
Trial and execution. It could be a fair trial then.
You are, as always, quite right.
Quite mad.
End the life of Citizen Jakar.
Think about end of the life of someone. Whoa, look at all the ships. That's a lot of protection.
There's a hell of a lot of ships.
It is.
And more on the way.
Didn't see any white stars.
There's something I didn't want to tell you at first.
What?
I did all I could to help him, but I cannot create life.
Things in my neural system. Some kind
Things.
of biochemical energy repairing and sustaining me.
Like nanobots.
I gave him back a portion of his life.
But not tech, like organic nanobots.
Barring injury and illness, perhaps 20 years.
You told me that humans live to be 100 years old, even older.
I would have thought older by then.
One day, he will simply stop.
Oof. God, that's going to be hard to hear.
Can we have a moment?
I mean, for him, let alone to Len.
I went into this with my eyes open. I knew if I went to Zahadum,
He would die. Yeah, I mean, he's got more than he thought he would get. He thought he was going to die. He's got an extra 20 years.
20 years? It's a long time. It's 20 more years than I would have had.
Yeah, exactly. But it'll go quick.
I wanted you to have this. It's temporary until I can get you a real engagement ring.
Oh, propose him.
You exchange when you get married. I don't know when we'll be able to get around to that part of it.
She hasn't said yes yet. Wonder what the Minbari equivalent would be. I suspect a number of rituals. I think that's a no. I think she's going to slap him and walk out.
I don't like the way he's looking at me.
Oh, yeah, he's looking at him in a funny way.
No, I'm sure whatever your majesty decides will be appropriate.
Pluck out his eye.
Whoa. God, not only is he about to be taken to be executed, as far as the Emperor's concerned, he's taking his eye? Whoa, a heavy episode. So we've got the Vorlons destroying outer colonies at the moment. They're attacking smaller targets. But they're 7 days from Centauri Prime. It's obviously next episode. Oh, well, maybe not. Because we need to get... obviously, normally, when they talk about next week and things, it's or 7 days, it normally ties in with the time between episodes. But they've still got to go to Narn and back. Well, I suppose I could cover most of that in the main episode and then come back at the end of the episode, and that's when they could arrive. So, still possible. So they're going to take Jakar to Narn for him to be tried fairly and then executed. But Londo's obviously got a plan. I don't know what it's going to be. So he's taken the Emperor there, but yeah, something's going to happen. So Sheridan has 20 years to live. I didn't say in the episode. I was trying to work this out. So Lorien brought him back from death, pretty much. He was dead, and he brought him back. But he's given him 20 years to live. But then when he was caught by the Vorlon, Kosh was released, but he combined with part of Lorien as well, and defeated the Vorlon and destroyed his ship. But John fell onto the floor, and Lorien had to replenish his life force. So is that when the 20 years started, or was it the 20 years start from when he fell and was originally brought back? I don't quite get that, how that all works. And he said, I can't remember how they worded it now, and I think it's important the way it was worded. He talked about things in his body that were healing, not healing. I think he did say healing and repairing his body, but so it sounded like nanotechnology, but they didn't mention anything about tech. It sounded like biological things in his body that are repairing him, biological nanites, which kind of makes sense. If the Vorlons can build ships, Lorien could have things in his body that repair him. I assume that's what keeps him alive and keeps him going. They repair him as well and fix him and give him long life. So he's put some of them in Sheridan, and they're doing the same to him. And so I don't understand about his lifespan and how that works. If he's given his life force to Sheridan, what does that take off him? Lots of questions. I can't quite get my head around how that's all working. So they're building the fleet. Whenever they have fights and things and build lots of ships, I can never see the White Stars. And I'm wondering if it's because they're so much smaller than the bigger ships, like the Minbari cruisers and everything. I don't know if my eye is just drawn to them and I just miss the smaller White Stars. When I'm editing, I will obviously look at that scene again to see if I can see the White Stars, because they must be there, but I never see them. And I think that might be the reason. I'm just drawn to the bigger ships, because White Stars are smaller but more powerful than their bigger compadres. Yeah, and I really don't know what's going to happen with the Emperor. I really can't think it through. Should be a good episode next week. Looking forward to that one to see what happens. There's a lot, so much going on, so much being juggled to try and work it all out. I can't. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next episode. Be seeing you.